for Transguard Group, wearing a very familiar logo on a very familiar polo shirt. It's lovely to see you, Nick. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So there's a couple of record numbers in here for you. Do you want to talk us through those top line results?
Yeah, look, I mean, we've had a fantastic year. We posted revenues of just over 4.1 billion this year, which is about a 17% increase on last year. That growth, fantastically, we've seen across the entire business. Nothing particularly stands out. We've just had really nice growth across the entire business. On the profit side, we posted 350 million, which is kind of 35% increase on last year. There's been huge focus on efficiency internally, which has really set aside us, from our competition as well.
And you preempted and indeed asked yourself my next question, which is how has profitability managed to sort of, 2x the revenue numbers, efficiencies. Now, your financial year ran until the end of March.
It did.
We've obviously got a very keen interest in that last month, particularly from you, because such a diversified company, you touch so many aspects of the economy here. What did that last month, what did March look like for you?
I think, February the 28th wasn't a great day for anyone. Obviously for us, I think 2 or 3 days of kind of working out what was going on, that initial kind of airport closure. We've got 17,000 people deployed to the airport on a daily basis, so they weren't going to work for the first few days whilst we sorted it out. I think for us, hospitality was our biggest area that was hit. We had about 2,500 people in hospitality. We probably had over 2,000 of those that were off-hired from various F&B outlets, big hotels. We're sitting in one now. But for us, fortunately, I think what we were very pleased with was the business is growing. We've won some pretty significant contracts over the last 6 months that were due to be deployed in March, April, May this year. We have managed to effectively, we offered every single person who was off-hired a job.
Off-hired meaning not needed at the
they
hotels?
Don't need it at the hotels or the F&B or the restaurants, whatever it might be. And we were able to offer every single person a job elsewhere. We probably, actually, funny enough, as at today, our headcount is higher than it was at the end of February. So we've grown, and obviously everyone loses people through natural attrition, but we haven't. We've managed to maintain our headcount throughout the conflict.
Those contracts that you had picked up that were set to go live, they've still gone live. Everything on schedule.
They have still gone live. They're still on schedule. We, for example, we clean 2 of the largest assets probably in the UAE. In the UAE, Dubai Mall. We now clean Terminal 3, which was newly deployed from June. So that was a massive. That was probably 1,300 people that we've deployed into Terminal 3. We've managed to deploy into manpower logistics. That we've actually seen quite an increase in that over the last 2 or 3 months. So all of those contracts have deployed as normal. We haven't really seen at the moment in our business any particular softening. In fact, for example, construction is, everyone looks out the window, it's booming. So, and as we kind of talked before, we're very diversified. So, we're really benefiting from that diversity at the moment.
And it's interesting because if we look at where a very large amount of your labour force is deployed, it is blue collar, it is grey collar, it is people who are actually out there doing things, as opposed to those of us who just sit here and type on a laptop. What do you think the takeaway from that is? The fact that you've not had to let any of those people go?
I think 2 things. One, we're in a fantastic country that the regulators, the government have really stood behind the businesses, they've stood behind the contracts. I don't think anyone in the UAE wants to see the country slow down, and I think a lot of those contracts will keep progressing, albeit maybe at a slightly slower rate, but they're progressing. I think for us as a diversified organisation, and welfare for us is absolutely paramount. So we will not we don't want to see any of our staff go unnecessarily, unless they want to leave, obviously. But otherwise, we don't want to see them go. So we've done everything we can to make sure that they can continue employment with us, maybe somewhere different, but they've all been offered jobs.
You're also, and this is the other reason I was excited about speaking to you, as well as the exposure to all those different sectors, you are also contracting in and out with so many companies. Are your clients looking to renegotiate contracts with you? Are they looking for longer payment terms? Are they looking to change the amount that they're paying you? What kind of give and take are we seeing companies need at the moment?
I think we've seen a bit of all of that, to be honest with you. I think we've seen companies coming to us and saying, look, we need another 30 days payment terms, 15 days payment terms. We would like to, we'll pay you, but can we pay you a little bit less now, and we'll make up for it at a later stage? And I think, again, one of the kind of strategic pillars of our business is partnerships, and so we see all of our customers, clients as partners. So we are very happy to, obviously entertain all of these requests, subject to, obviously, we're also a business, so we have to vet them. I've got to maintain 80,000 staff on a daily basis, so we have to be sensible about it. But we want to work with our clients. We don't want to see them fail. Our job is to enable their success. So we need to try and help them as much as we can to do that within reasons.
I've got 1 minute left with you. You're the CFO. What are you forecasting for the second half of this year?
We're pretty hopeful, pretty positive. We're obviously 50% owned by Emirates, so we look at their passenger numbers, their forward bookings, and they're extremely bullish about the next 6 months. So from a tourism perspective, from people coming in, so hopefully we're also pretty positive about the future of the business, and I think the country will bounce back extremely quickly.
Are you seeing new contracts being negotiated now with you for that H2?
We still are, yeah. The demand is there for H2, and our issue is we need to find as many people as we can to provide the staff for those jobs.
So you're in a recruitment phase?
We are indeed.
Nick Bear, Chief Financial and Support Services Officer at Transguard, a hugely diversified company. You're probably most familiar with them, seeing them fill up an ATM in that very, very familiar shirt, but much more besides. Thank you so much for joining us with your numbers this morning.